Hello world, so we're here today to check out the CR10 Smart Pro from Creality. This printer is amazing, I really like it. It's got loads of things on it, which means you're not going to have to do loads of upgrades straight away, and the prints on it are pretty awesome. So stick around, let's check out the features and see how smart this thing really is. One of the really nice features we're going to look at first is bed leveling. So this has got auto bed leveling, so it's got the equivalent to a BL Touch already pre-installed. Once you obviously start the bed leveling process, it will probe quite a few points on the bed and create a sort of an adjustment mesh, which is quite nice. And then obviously it's also got auxiliary leveling, which means you can also do manual leveling with it as well. Now, even with a BL Touch, it does make bed leveling significantly easier. There's always going to need to be a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of manual bed leveling, and that's just part of the course. And to be honest, it does help you become a much better printer enthusiast, because it gives you the opportunity to work out what that first layer should really look like. I'm at a point where I like to get it as close to perfect as possible, but actually I'm one of these people who doesn't focus too much on that first layer. As long as it's adhering to the bed and as long as it's not too close and scratching your build plate, I do find that I just let it run, and quite a few times it's not an issue. But this really does help. Having a BL Touch or equivalent BL Touch really does help with getting your prints right first time. And as you can see here, this is the auxiliary leveling, so you can move it to the specific point you want to work on, and you can go back to the old tried and tested paper method of popping the paper underneath the nozzle and adjusting the bed leveling screws. So as you can see, it's just a touch of a button to get it to move to each point you want it to get to, and you can adjust those screws and just slide. You can see here it's not quite going under, it's a little bit too close, so we can adjust that screw until the paper slides under nicely, and then you can just tighten it just to get that slight drag on the paper, that dragging feeling. And this really does help to get a perfect first layer almost every time. So this is the camera that comes with the printer. It's labelled as an AI HD smart camera. It's a 1920 by 1080 webcam, and it works just fine. No real issues with it at all. It comes with a little tripod. So here's the tripod, little flexi tripod. Okay, and that just screws into the bottom. No real issues here. It's a nice little addition, to be honest, and it works really well with the Cloud App. I'll give you a little demo of that now, and later on in the video we'll be looking at how to set up the Cloud App. So you can see it's got a little angle on it. Okay, so it's nice. It's just USB connection that goes into the side of the printer, and it is the cable is attached. Okay. So that's it really, just a little webcam. This is the Cloud App, and this is how you'd use the camera. So once it's all set up, and like I say, we'll look at that later, you just click the little camera icon in the top right corner, and it will load. It takes a few seconds just to load the feed, and then you'll get the feed of the webcam, which is really nice. You can, you'll be able to see your printer from anywhere. Very similar to if you're used to using a Pi cam with Octopi, but just really nice that it's included. It's not something else you're going to have to mess about with buying a Raspberry Pi. It's all there in the CR10 Smart Pro, ready to go, which is a really nice selling feature for me. So looking at like entry standard level, if you want everything in one go, in one package, then so far this is ticking all those boxes for me. And again, you know, you can rotate to full screen. Pretty nice little addition. So this is the Z-axis top light strip. It's eco-friendly and the LED provides balanced lighting. So it means that you can have light whenever you need it, day or night, just to make everything's a little bit clearer. Absolutely fantastic addition to this. You can turn it on and off in the settings. Absolutely super cool. So pleased they included this. Okay, so let's talk about the full metal dual gear Direct Extruder. Okay, this is a really nice inclusion to have on this printer. You usually pay a lot in upgrades to get this, so it's got consistent performance. I've found it really reliable so far, and it's great for printing sort of TPU, carbon fiber and other filaments. There's a titanium alloy heat break. It's got strong heat insulation, 400 degrees C heat resistance and smooth feeding. So for me, this is a really nice selling point. The fact of the matter is that you're buying this printer and it's already got the direct drive extruder. You're not having to mess about with upgrades, printing separate parts, buying different extruders, or you know, and that's great for a beginner. For someone who's just getting into 3D printing and wants all the add-ons and all the best parts you can get, this really is it. This is an absolutely best buy for someone wanting to get into 3D printing, and I just really like this. I really think they've hit the nail on the head here. Now obviously I haven't got into printing some of my larger cosplay stuff yet, but I think the direct drive will actually make a big difference to quality. So yeah, and also with the dual Z axis that we're going to talk about next, I think that's also seriously helped with stability and will show better print results. Okay, I know I'm going to start sounding like an absolute fanatic on this, but this is great. Having two Z-axis motors with the threaded rods can help ensure stability of the X-axis during print and can overall reduce the wear on the mechanical components. So for me, this is a win-win. This is literally amazing that we've got this out the box. Yeah, it's just so good to have this as standard. So basically the idea is that the concept goes that this will provide additional stability during the print. So it can, if you don't have a dual Z axis, it can cause the X axis to sag because of the weight of the print head. So this really does improve stability and overall print quality, and that's what we want. Another cool feature is the dual diagonal drawbars. Now these bars are designed to add extra stability to the frame and also stop sort of extra vibration from the print. So obviously the less vibration you're having, the better the print quality, okay, because you're not getting sort of like as much vibration through the actual print or through the print head, so you're not getting as much sort of micro movement there. So that's a really nice additional feature, and again, these are super easy to install. If you haven't checked out the build video for this, check out the link in the description. So this is an IPS color screen. It's a really nice, simple user interface touchscreen. I haven't found it to be laggy at all. I know some reviews said it was. I haven't found that. That hasn't been my experience. It comes with 9 languages available, which you can change with a single touch. It's just really nice. You know, it's nice that it's included. You can buy these kits separately if you've already got a Creality machine, but this is included. It's all in that one price, which I really like. Okay, so it's 130 by 70 by 30 millimeters, like I say, 4.3 inch screen, and it's just really nice. It just works. You can scroll through all the different options. You can turn your runout sensor on and off at a touch of a button. You've got movement controls. Really nice addition. I don't think it can give you a display of the print that you're going to print. I haven't managed to see if that actually does that yet. But something I play about with, and I really like the progress indicators. So when you're obviously doing a print, to actually just be able to look up, like here in the cloud print progress, you can see really quickly that it's 54% and how long it's got left, and I really like that. Okay, so the build plate that you're getting with this is the PEI flexible build plate. It's a magnetic build plate with powder coated surface, and it's £40 worth of build plate. It's a really nice build plate. The surface contracts when cooled, and your prints just pop straight off. There's a couple of ways you can connect this to the internet: Wi-Fi or RJ45 connection, or you can just print from Bluetooth. Okay, so let's check out the Cloud app. The first thing we're going to do is scan the QR code in the instruction manual, which will take us to be able to download the app, and we're going to install that onto my phone. Now I'm using the iPhone 13 Pro, so iOS, so I haven't found a problem with that. I haven't tried it on Android yet, but it will just take you to the App Store, and it's the Creality Cloud -3D printing, and this is what it currently looks like. It says 3D print, and it's got some like a blue logo. So that's what you're looking for. You want to install that, just click install so as it downloads. Once it's downloaded, you can click open, and the app should load. It did take a few seconds, to be honest, and then it did pop up. It would like to send you notifications. You can allow that or not allow it, and then you're into the app, and it's got a little walkthrough to show you where different things are. I always say don't track, so ask not to track. And yeah, it just shows you and talks you through where things are in the interface. Now what you're going to want to do is add your device, so you're going to click add device, and then it will tell you obviously that you can just need to select what you want. So I'm going to do the Smart Pro under FDM printers, and then you need to log in. I'm going to log in with Facebook, and then it logs you in, and then we're going to configure the Smart Pro. So it says click on settings, advanced, and then restore network. Click yes, and that wipes any current network settings that are on there. So then you need to go down to the bottom and click done and next. It would like to use Bluetooth, so it will find the printer via Bluetooth, and we're going to select that. You can see here CR box has been found, so we're going to click that and set up network. We then select our Wi-Fi network because I'm connecting it via Wi-Fi, and it will send the Wi-Fi information to the 3D printer. So for example, your network and your password. Give it a few seconds and it will connect. If it doesn't connect on the first try, just make sure you're closest to the printer. It should be all right, but go a bit closer and just try again, and you shouldn't have any issues. So what this is doing, it's now sending your Wi-Fi info to the 3D printer and storing it on the 3D printer memory, and then you need to give the device a name depending on what you want to call it. So for example, Creality CR10 Smart. I tried to do Smart Pro, but it doesn't actually fit. It's a limited amount of characters. And then that's it. That's your printer added to the Cloud App software, and it's good to go. Now, this wanted a firmware update, so I did that. Just be aware that you do have to repeat the network setup like we've just done if you do flash the firmware. It does give a little warning saying that if you do this, that you will need to reset up the network. So I'm just checking here to see what version it was. So I'm going to install the newest version, click yes, and then we get the warning come up which says at the end you will need to reset up and resend your Wi-Fi details to the printer. So just repeat that initial step that we've just done. So that downloads the firmware, and then it will start updating the firmware. Now this process did take a little bit of time. Don't exit out, don't do anything like that, and it should say update successful, and then you can go through, reconfigure what we've just done to reconnect it, and then we're good to go. And this is the Cloud App, so you can see we can select a slice if we've already uploaded that, and if you stay around in the video, I'll show you how to set up the slicing software and ping a slice up to the cloud. Lots of things you can see here. You can see the speed, the bed temp, obviously remotely, which is nice, and there's a few other things going on. And what we can actually do is we'll see if this is actually able to control it. So what we'll do is we will try a shutdown. So I'm going back in and I'm going to hit the turn off button, and then we'll go to an exterior view of the printer and see if it actually turns off. And bingo, done. Okay, so we're going to download the software from Creality. It's creality.com/pages/download, and then you want to go to CR series, CR10 Smart Pro 3D printer, and I'm going to install the Windows version for Windows 64-bit. That's going to download. It takes a little bit of time. It's quite a large file. So once that's finished downloading, you're going to open the file and just double click the installer, at which point Windows, if you're doing this on Windows, it will ask for permissions to run, because obviously it's going to install and needs admin privileges for that. So like I say, rather large file. Okay, and then once you've clicked that, it will give you the options to install. You're just going to click next. I agree, next. Obviously just follow the things, and then it will install. Take a few seconds, so let's skip this part, not keep you waiting. Okay, and once that's done, you can run the program. This will open the Creality Slicer, and we then need to configure the CR10 Smart Pro to be able to slice in this slicer. So it says, welcome to Creality Slicer, get started. Read the terms and user agreement and agree, and then it's got some welcome information, so just read that, click next. Select the printer from the list, so Creality CR10 Smart Pro. Okay, give it a name, which is already done and pre-selected for us, and then click next. Okay, just check the specs, and as you can see in the G code, it's got G28 home, but then it doesn't have the G29 G code to auto bed level, so you can add that in. My bed's level at the moment, so I'm not going to add that in right now. And then just having a read through the G code just to see what it's doing. So it's just very standard. It will wipe the nozzle and get ready to print, and then you've got the end G code. You might want to add in anything if you're using smart plugs. Check out some of my previous videos for that. Click next, and that's the slicer ready to go. So obviously you want to figure out how to get this working with cloud and to be able to send remotely. So I'm dragging in a trolley token that I designed in Tinkercad. It's current customer order, so I'm going to multiply this So just multiply the selected model because I need 10 of them. So I'm going to do 10 of these and hit OK. And this is a really easy print, so I don't really need to play about with much on here. Just checking the quality, so it's on 0.2, 10% infill's fine, and then no supports needed at all, so that's all good. And then I'm going to slice that model. Once it's finished slicing, you can see it says upload to the cloud, so click that. And then you've got different login options. So I'm going to log in, because I've already got the app on my phone, I'm just going to scan the QR code to log in. So all you need to do here is select scan QR code, and then it brings up a QR code. You scan that on the app, so just go into your app on your phone, and there's a little scan button, and then scan the barcode, and it will say you've logged in successfully. Give the file a name, so I'm going to change this from the name it's given, and I'm just going to call it trolley token order. And then I'm going to just click upload. Okay, so that's uploading. And that's file uploaded. So I can now go to the app on my mobile phone. And if I scroll down, I can see my slices, and then there's cow slicing and my uploads, and there's the trolley token order, which I've selected. I'm going to select where I want to print it to. Please make sure the slice matches the printer. Please make sure there are no models on the bed. So I'm going to confirm all of that. And then everything will start doing its thing. So it downloads the slice to the printer, says that it's loaded okay, and then it will start heating the bed, get the bed temperature and the nozzle temp, and we can check this on the camera. We can see what's going on the actual build plate. So it's not quite started yet, and then it will start printing, and we're away. Remote printing. So no need for a Raspberry Pi or Octoprint here. This is all using the Cloud app, and you can see the print started. Pretty happy with that. And my favourite part, of course, is the drawer. This is so cool. You know, it's got all your little tools in it. Magnet at the back, so it just glides in, and then pop. You know, you can't beat that. You just can't. I know I'm excited over a drawer, but it is amazing.